Human biology. Medium.com said the following: children make us happier. Avoid dying alone. Children give us hope, help us believe in something bigger. Children force you to become a better version of yourself. Your baby may be the one who saves the world. Some of you may be watching and saying, I got 10 more things I would add to this list. Yeah, I totally get it. I'm just giving you an idea here, but let's look at a couple articles on what they're saying. Here's one. Unmarried, childless women are happiest people of all, says expert. If you're a man, you should probably get married. If you're a woman, don't bother.
Written by a woman's correspondent.
Can you imagine that? If you're a man, you should probably get married. If you're a woman, don't bother. You think someone's going to read that and say, maybe I shouldn't get married? Here's another one. Half of women have not yet had a child by age 34, the first time ever, figures show. Women born in 1990 were the first cohort ever where half were not mothers by their 30th birthday. Now, if you're part of that camp, you're like, oh, thank God, we're making progress. Some of you may say, what are we talking about here? What else is the purpose for not having kids? Are you kidding me? You don't want to have kids? That's the data telling you. Watch this next one here. 1 in 4 projecting childlessness among today's young women. Meaning, 1 in 4 is probably going to have a kid. 3 out of 4 is probably not going to have any kids. That's the
population collapse
today. But you know, let's
population collapse imminent.
Look at some other numbers, because when I retweeted Chelsea Handler's video when she said what she said about men and Alpha Motivation Zero, I retweeted and said, here's a study from University of Pennsylvania saying childless women were 46% more likely to be highly depressed than mothers. But then we said, well, okay, let's play devil's advocate, because maybe people are happier that don't have kids. Maybe it is something. Why don't we look at and break down 4 different stats? Married with children, women who are married but they're childless, women who are unmarried with children, and those who are unmarried and childless. Are they happier when they're younger, and as they age, they get more depressed and miserable? Or are they unhappy when they're younger, and when they age, hey, I don't have any kids, I'm just happier now? Let's look what the stats tells us. Here's what we're looking at. Ages 18 to 34, married with children, 30 of them were happy. But married childless, 33 of them were happy, which means those who were married and didn't have any kids, they had more time with their spouse, they were actually happier than those who were married with kids. Then you have unmarried with children, 12% of them said they were happy.
Yeah. Look at the unmarried and childless cope. 7% are saying they're very happy. By the way, women that are married with or without children, 30% or more are very happy. So how many of them had said they're happy, somewhat happy, and all the rest of the options they had? Very happy is like a very strong yes, I love my life. If only 7% of the unmarried childless, and that doesn't even bode that well for unmarried with children, is 12%. So basically you need a man in your life. Isn't it beautiful projection that they constantly say, I don't need a man, I'm strong and independent, as if that it's coming from a place of insecurity. It's coming from a deeper place where they all want a man to want them. They all want to be taken care of by a man. They all feel safer, happier, more fulfilled having a man around, with or without kids. With or without kids, it seems being married, period, is the key to a woman's happiness. Isn't that some shit? You mean you don't have to be in the dating pool getting pumped and dumped day in and day out by men that don't give an absolute shit about you, and you're with one man that actually loves you and wants to be with you the rest of his life, whether you have kids or not. That makes you jump dramatically into the very happy section. You see? But society is telling you don't need a man, you don't need to get married, it's emotional labor, it's a waste of time, men are morons. And then look, and it's these bottom 2 that are saying this shit the most. And then you have the silent majority of the happy women here, just quietly married, going about their day, living life, not hearing any of this bullshit. The strong, independent boss babe. It's all a lie when you look at it statistically.
And unmarried, childless, only 7% said they were happy. So in this cohort, the happiest ones were who? Married, but no kids. So the argument is, go find your love, but don't go have kids. It's too much work. Now let's see what happens as you age in life. 35 to 54, married with children, 28% said they were happy. Married childless fell to
look at that.
second place now. 24% said they were happy. Unmarried with children, 11% said they were happy. Unmarried childless, 12% said they were happy. Now comes the next phase, 55 and up, because as you're 55 and up, you can't be dating. You don't have as many options as you did when you were in your 20s. Body looked good, everything was perfect, maybe even in your 30s. You look great, you're going out, everybody's still flirting with you. Life changes a little bit at 55. Let's see what the numbers tell us now. You ready? Married with children, 25% happy. Married childless, Massive drop off, 14%.
Kids are the key, man. I told you, they give you something to live for. It's a beautiful thing to watch your seed grow into an adult and then sprout their own lives and become their own people. And eventually, at the 55 plus, you're on the cusp of being a grandparent. You don't think you derive an intense boost in happiness at 55 plus when your child has a kid, and now you begin the end stage of your life, a beautiful part of your life where you've put in the work, you're probably already retired or about to be, and you're watching your legacy grow before your eyes. You have grandchildren now. Isn't that incredible? As opposed to unmarried, childless. Wow. How can you possibly compare any fucking Prada bag, any Chad pumping and dumping you, all the bullshit, strong independent boss babe, working, slaving away for the IRS to take most of your money? How can you compare that to becoming a grandparent? Your own kids you brought into this world, your own. I'm telling you, man, I don't think people today think about long term whatsoever. Because if you really tried to sit down for a moment and project your life out, just envision yourself at 30, 40, 50, 60. Really try to see your day-to-day. These people would be scared shitless on the spot. It starts to get real fucking scary at 40. Everybody starts declining at 40, even men. Men peak in their 30s. You can hold it off a little bit until about mid-40s. If you're doing really well, you can hop on some sauce. 50s, pushing it, baby. It doesn't matter. You're 50, your hair is white all the way. Now you look like an distinguished gentleman. You know, distinguished gentleman. Unless you're, what's his name? What's his name from Matt? Jeff Bezos, where you just got married again. Right? You did extremely well in your life, then it doesn't matter. But that's not many of us. Many of us don't make multiple billions of dollars, become some of the richest men on earth. For most of us, 50 is going to be rough, bro. It really is.
Unmarried, but with children, 11%, and unmarried.
Yeah, he got married again to that chick he was constantly being spotted with on the yacht. Tied the knot. Like I said, the dude's mega efficient. He doesn't give a fuck about dating, smashing. The guy can smash any model he wants in the world. He's Jeff fucking Bezos. He can facilitate any dream. The man can go into space just as like a casual thing on a Friday night. He owns fucking rocket ships. He can dive into any piece he wants. And yet he still just chose a chick. Because those guys at the very top understand, bro, most women are actually a waste of time. Just find yourself one you like enough, lock it down, and then focus on your business, focus on your hobbies, focus on getting ahead, doing the things you love. This whole going on constant dates shit, constantly meeting new women, constantly pumping and dumping strange is boring. It gets fucking boring. It's empty. The dude rather have one chick he considers his piece that he likes, brings her on, and shares experiences together. That's better than just having a new broad every day. I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you.
Childless went to last place. So the happiest went from married with kids, then those who are married without kids, but it's a
Yeah, and he's jacked. And he got jacked.
big drop off from 25 to 14, then unmarried with children and unmarried childless.
Someone wrote Bezos is a simp, period. That's the red pill extremist in you talking, bro. That guy, you can't even simp with that kind of money. You really can't. Simping denotes you give away a valuable piece of yourself, like resources. What the fuck's that? How do you simp as a billionaire? It's kind of hard. You have so much. It's like if he's too rich to simp. It's not it doesn't hurt him financially. He didn't sacrifice anything. Like, do you understand? His money to him is not the same as money to you. It's simping if you do it, because money to you actually matters. Money to him is nothing. Absolutely nothing. He has so much. It's basically paper he can wipe his ass with. How could you possibly simp? Yeah, you can at billionaire rates, you transcend what simping is. There's no value exchange where you're losing here. You have too fucking much money. It's insane. It's the equivalent of you guys handing a chick a penny and someone coming around that doesn't have a penny telling you you're simping. And it's like, bro, I fucking drop pennies on the ground, can't be bothered to pick them up. What are you talking about? This has zero value in my life. It's 1 penny. But to the broke motherfucker that doesn't even have one, he's gonna be like, that's simping, bro. I would never give a penny up. What the fuck are you talking about? The dude owns yachts worth multiple billions of dollars. Money, he doesn't even look at money as the same concept you do.
So when you look at this data, what do you think about? The argument could be made from the other side to say, you see?
And someone says, so if he's enabling women's bad behavior, he is simping. How is he enabling women's bad behavior? The dude picked one woman and locked her down already. He's got his piece and he's good. Now he's living life. He's fucking traveling around the world in his private yacht, his mega yacht, his gargantuan super yacht. And he probably brings other women that they're having fun with on threesomes and shit like that.
Even the person that's married childless is happier than the person that's unmarried with child. Okay, so don't have marriage out of wedlock or something like that. Okay, fine. Maybe you can make that argument. Great. On the other side could be, do you see what happens? As you age, what used to be important to you in your 20s, to go party, hang out, go to clubs left and right, date men, date this, date that, that is not going to be your priority in your 50s. Things that drive you in your 20s are not going to drive you as much in your 30s, then 40s, then 50s, then 60s. Life changes, you change, I change, we all change. My dad's best friend today, he's 81 years old, is his granddaughter, my 23-month-old daughter, Brooklyn. They're together glued. If you ask my dad what was his priority 40 years ago, it's a very different thing than 60 years ago when he was in his 20s, right? Life changes for all of us. We can continue this. Here's a study done by National Library of Medicine. Data shows that...
Yeah, you have to understand men that are type A like he is and just successful in general, they don't look at life the same. They're not driven by the same shit. Somebody says, you know, like most guys here would be like, well, I would never get married. I would just be spending my money on girls and parties and just having fun. And it's like that's not what he considers fun. He doesn't give a fuck. He has all the money in the world. He can go to any party he wants. Parties you'll never be invited to. With women you'll never get to sleep with. And he probably already got a taste of that. He does not give a shit. That's not what drives the dude. The dude finds more meaning chilling with one bitch while he's out there trying to build a spaceship to go to the moon and back. Like it's another Friday night. Not every man is driven by the same whims. You guys have to understand that shit. Motherfuckers are going to learn the hard way.
Women with children were significantly less likely to have depressive symptoms. Depressive symptoms? What causes depression? What causes anxiety? Anxiety is caused by us stressed out about the future. Depression is caused by us stressed out about the past, the decisions that we made. Maybe one of the things that causes depression is to sit there and say, man, I wish I had a kid. A big mistake I made, and you constantly keep reliving it. That's tough. You ever have to keep thinking about a decision you made in the past and you keep you're dwelling on it, what it does to you? It's not a good feeling, right? Now imagine.
Right, it's so crazy they're trying to equate him with some red pill mantra bullshit. It's like this motherfucker, yeah, he's working on rocket science, not some bitches at a club in a VIP party. It's a clown show. This guy's operating on a level far beyond a basic ape.
You're 58 years old. You never had kids, and all you think about is, I should have kids. That's tough. It's got to be painful. So how did we get here? Could be one of the things.
Marco, thanks, bro. Hello, Bo. And chat, first time donating money to someone going to Aruba. God damn, you lucky bastard. Next Saturday for 5 days. Should be fun. Take it easy. Stay safe on the travels. That goes for you too, chat. Damn, you too, brother. Aruba is going to be heaven on earth, man. Please enjoy. Let me know once you're back. I got to put that one on the list, too.
Things. Look, I got a bunch of different data I can show you. I don't want to overwhelm you. The fact that, hey, college degrees, it used to be a lot more men used to get college degrees. For the first time ever, women are getting more four-year college degrees than men. This is a transition we've looked at from 1940 to 2021. Women are now competing and maybe thinking, I no longer need a man. I can make the money. I don't need your money. I can do it myself. Why do I need to have a husband in the first place? And if you look at right now, more women in workforce for every 100 in 1990. For every man working in 1990, 74.5% women. Today, that's 82, which means women are getting close to having the same exact number as men. And the argument a lot of times is made, well, women have babies. They can't work as many hours as a man does. If they're having kids and they have to take this, they have to do that. Fine, no problem. I'm just giving you stats on what's going on. And then also income-wise. If you look at income-wise, 65 and up, there's a very big disparity between how much men make and how much women make. 55 to 64, men still have a big lead. 45 to 54, men still have a big lead. 35 to 44, men have a big lead. But if you look at 25 to 34, they're making about the same amount of money. And if you look at 20 to 24, it's about the same amount of money. So that race is getting closer and closer and closer. And if you look at these stats, the U.S. National Survey of Families and Households determined that those who report being happy in their marriages declined when women earned more than their husbands. That was said to increase the risk of divorce by 50%. When a woman makes more money than a man, there's a 50% higher chance of divorce. Now, you may be able to say on the other side, and the argument could be what? Well, that's because men are insecure and it's the insecure man's fault. Could be. I'm just giving you the stat on what could be the reason that this is taking place. Maybe a man wants to be the guy that's kind of like, somebody needs me. I'm needed. There's a purpose for me being here. You rely on me and makes me feel important, and I want to do even more for you. That could be in the DNA of a man, that naturally we're wired that way. We can go on and on and on and talk about, well, you know, one of the things that changed is back this before social media. If a girl was a really hot girl that was living in a state, in a city, she would have married somebody there. Now she can post her picture on social media and thousands of other men could DM her and she could realize, look, I'm really hot. These guys are DMing me from UK, from Spain, from Brazil, from New York. I don't live in New York. I live in Arkansas. I live in, I live in this. I live in. So that could be one of the reasons that it changed. Now all the good-looking men are getting all the women, and the men that would have typically gotten at least some play today, they're not getting any of it. It's hard for men to find women. Now, a calculator is out there if you've never used it called the delusion calculator. So what this female delusion calculator does is it uses income and marital status information derived from the 2020 annual social and economic supplement of current population survey conducted by the Census Bureau of the United States, and then it breaks things down. Hey, I want a guy that's this tall. I want him to be this weight. I want him to make this kind of money. What percentage of men who fall into this category? If you've never used this calculator, ladies, you ought to use this calculator to realize the guy you're looking for, how few of them are in the marketplace. But women have way more options. Men don't have as many options. So this thing has changed a little bit. But does that mean it makes women happier long-term? Stat says no. I'm giving my final thoughts, but this thing's about to take a turn here. And if you make it to this last part, this is the best part of this entire message, because we have to understand other people's pain. When I interview people, I want to know why you're the way you are. Whether you made an incredible decision and you took a business to levels that nobody thought you were going to take it, or Kobe, or you made a bad decision and you turned. Who let you down? Who hurt you? What happened to you? I've lived a very weird life. This is why I want to know people's motives and why they do what they do. So Chelsea, when she was a kid, 9 years old, her favorite person in her life, she writes this in the memoir she wrote, which is titled, "Life Will Be the Death of Me and You Too." She's 9 years old. Her favorite person in the world is her brother, which is 22 years old. He goes on a hiking trip, and his last words to her brother is, "I will be back and can't wait to see you." He goes on this hiking trip, never comes back. He falls.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what? This shit stems from the fact that one conversation on, what was it, Fresh and Fit? They're saying Ben Shapiro, Elon, all these people, they're not high value men and shit. It's so cringe when you really can utter that kind of sentence out loud and not just hear the hypocrisy in your own voice. Someone said Bezos literally lives the dream that he himself worked for. Yeah, like these guys are another plane of existence, man. The fact that men care about rating other men or up in their business about what this guy does with women, right? And are actually talking about like, yeah, he's a fucking simp, bro. Bezos just got married again. What a simp. Who the fuck are you? You eat bugs. That guy hasn't had a steak probably below $1,000 an ounce in fucking forever. You're stuck eating boxed ramen and shit. Please feed yourself basic nutrients, motherfucker, before you're talking about somebody else. You fucking can't even go to the gym 7 days a week. You miss days. You struggle to even be consistent with eating.